Hello, Leo. How are you guys? Welcome back to another episode of Solari Tarot. It's Greg here. I'm here to do your reading for March 2020. How are you doing throughout the retrograde, y'all? We still have from the first about 9 days or something, and then Mercury goes direct and things start to kind of shift back into motion again. If you have been having a particularly rough retrograde, right? You should have already seen the majority of the super intense parts of it in February, so you should be doing okay. If you want to know how my retrograde is going, I painted my nails black and I'm having an emo renaissance. It's great over here. Everything is great. So, let's go ahead and look and see what's going on in March for you here. We're going to start with an oracle card. Guys, listen, also, my $25 special is back. I do them like twice a year, sometimes 3 times. I'm excited to do it. You guys have been emailing me and asking me when I'm going to do personal readings again, and I know it's been a really long time, and I'm really sorry, but I'm ready to do them again. So if you're interested in that, all the information's in the description box below, and for the month of March Madness, they are only $25. All right, let's do it. What's our message for Leo here in the month of March? How can we serve Leo? What do we need to say to Leo here in March 2020? Okay. We have a couple of cards, wow. We have a couple of cards here that are both really, really lofty in nature. The first one is self-love. And obviously, Leo, sometimes you guys are very good at keeping the fire alive within you, but sometimes really loving yourself, I'm not certain, right? I think that there are little rituals and ways that we can incorporate loving ourselves into our daily routine, and I think that retrograde may have shown you its face on that, right? You're feeling like there are parts of you that really do need your loving care and nurture. And it really does all go down to these voices, right, that we entertain as we go along our path. Sometimes we really convince ourselves of believing that we are unlovable, or that we are not beautiful enough, or that we are, just under the caliber of what we want. And believing these thoughts repetitively does quite damage to us. So I think coming into a simple practice of self-love, checking in with yourself on a regular basis, simple things like a cup of tea or a nice herbal bath or a moon ritual, however, or a prayer to, source, whatever is your thing. This would be a really great time to start getting into a self-love routine, like skincare routine, fitness routine, like I'm taking care of myself, I'm loving myself, I'm not doing this so that I can be better, I'm doing this because I love myself and I want to feel good, right? The second card that's coming out here is faith. So the energy that really starts to kind of create itself around this reading, right, is this idea that there's somewhere yet to go. And sometimes we wonder if we really have what it takes, or if we really are as amazing as we've been trying to, right, convince the world around us. I think sometimes we try to be so in control of our experience that the idea of having faith can be really challenging for us here in a modern world with so much going on a stimulative level around us, especially in a hyper-connected, internet-driven world. Sometimes having faith is really hard to do. Because let's be really honest, Leo, if you were checked into your inner primordial faith, you probably wouldn't even need to be here right now watching this tarot card reading, would you? Right? There would probably be no purpose. Because yourself is driving this intuition that's moving you forward. And perhaps tarot messages do help you along the way, yes. But listen, folks, this faith that we have in the universe around us, when we do the very best we can and we love ourselves with the very best that we can give, which sometimes is not much, I understand. However, these small shifts allow us to let go, I think, in a way that allows spirit to come in and cleanse the vessel, right? Let's go ahead and pull some tarot. This is a really beautiful energy that we're working our way into. We have the Nine of Cups on the bottom. So let's see. Leo, March 2020, what's up? Okay, yeah, you know, we have the Ten of Wands coming up from the get-go. So once again, you guys are carrying a lot of weight that I'm not certain is fair for you to be carrying right now. Leo, March 2020, what's our message? Everybody take a nice deep breath. Seven of Swords coming out here. King of Swords. Also appearing in the shot is Francis, the very most wonderful thing in my life. What are you doing, sis? How are you? You want to come down? Come here. Say hello to Leo. They could learn something from you this month. Folks, we have a Ten of Wands. We have a Seven of Swords. Of course she's going to show you her butt. Look, now I just got demonetized. You suck. There's that Nine of Cups coming out again. Also, we have an Ace of Swords here as well. You know, we have a Five of Cups. Yeah, I can see why the Oracle cards would want to come out and start asking you to have a little faith, because it does look like, Leo, you've got a lot on your plate right now. You're not sure what's real and what's not. You're pretty entirely saddened by where you are, but you feel strongly about something here that you want. Ten of Swords, but perhaps whatever it is that you've wanted has ended. And there could have been a lot of sneakiness here. And I don't know what we're talking about. There's a King of Swords. This could be with a father figure. It could certainly be a romantic partner. Looks like there was a Seven of Pentacles. Looks like there was some sort of communication that you've had here. This could have certainly been during the retrograde. That may perhaps have not went very well. You're carrying this really heavy weight through this retrograde. So I am feeling for you, Leo, here. There's a lot to sort through. There's a lot going on. And there's a very unsure kind of, is there a veil over this energy? Like, am I seeing this as it really is kind of energy? And then a real strong significance of Seven here, Leo. Kind of indicating a period where a stalemate has occurred. And for some, quite honestly, of you, an ending of some kind. And I think part of you is really saddened by this, but I think the other part of you is kind of relieved because you've been carrying so much around with you as you've been going. Wow. Could have certainly been an air sign involved here. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. There is a person in question here. And I think that for you, this person looks like something you really do desire and want, you wish for. But somewhere along the way here, Leo, for whoever I'm talking to that this is resonating with, somewhere along the way, your own beauty became in question for you. Your own light, this little light of yours, was barely down to a flicker. And this could be now while I'm talking to you. I don't know. I don't know you. This inner light really dimmed in some sort of way. And I know how heavy and challenging that can be, and I certainly see that it's quite heavy for you here. And we are, of course, going to clarify all this, but, like, a lot to sort through. Talk to me about Leo, March 2020, 10 of Wands energy. Leo, March 2020, 10 of Wands. Talk to me. Clarify the Ten of Wands, please. Okay. Okay. Wow. Oh my gosh, guys. What the hell happened? We have the Hermit, the World, and the Tower. Um, so once again, I want to really reiterate that I'm speaking to someone here who a big blow up happened. There was a lot of heaviness being carried around, which is why I go back to that. Someone is really saddened about an ending in some way, a completion of a cycle, but they're also relieved in some way. And now there is this self really taking over here with the Hermit card. Virgo energy comes into the spread and really starts to balance things out. And that's great, but look, Leo, whatever we're talking about here, I love you guys. I'm so sorry. It must have been really freaking painful, but tell me about the Seven of Swords. What's not as it seems here? Okay. The Six of Cups. Yeah, something from the past that seems familiar, but it's like it keeps coming back, or it keeps coming back around to you. And you wonder if you're really looking back at the memories and making them brighter than they actually were. You're forgetting that there was just a lot of heaviness and baggage and pain and suffering along the way, and at one point you really were down and out for the count. The Tower came in and the universe kind of broke you free from something, but I think now you're just kind of like, holy shit. What to do now? Tell me about the King of Swords. Who is the King of Swords? The Ten of Cups. Whoever this person is, this is something that you dreamed always you would have. But let's be clear, y'all. This went south. Which is why I understand that you're still in your Nine of Cups, because you're like, I really think this is a person, guys, and I really think that you don't want to let them go. And I think that there was some for real love here and potential here, but I gotta say, for a lot of you, I think that whoever this connection was, it could have been a family member or a lover or a partner or something, I don't know. It's really been painful, too. And it doesn't look to me like it was totally healthy. Tell me about the Nine of Cups. It doesn't look healthy to me at all. The Ace of Swords. I think there's clarity coming to what you want. And I think that you're starting to see things a little bit more clearly. The Ace of Swords is coming out here, and it's showing a 10. So you're going back into a new cycle again, and now you're being a little bit more thoughtful about it, which is great. You're putting a lot more effort in, but I'm not sure that you're at this place where you're having faith that the universe has got your back here. I think you're forgetting this entirely. And you know what? Listen, it is so easy to forget that, isn't it? When we're going through life and it hits us hard and we really don't know how to get back up and we don't know which way to turn and we're not exactly sure about what any of it means. I understand that it can be very painful to pick yourself back up and get moving again. For those of you, Leos that have been on this channel for a while, you know that I had a really rough 2019. I really hit tower moment all year. My whole life fell apart. The love of my life, familiar animal, golden retriever, passed away of cancer. Everything changed. I just really went into a very dark place. And I'm still, to be honest, every single day recovering. And some days I'm really just like, damn. And I know I don't share a lot with you guys about my personal life on the channel as much as I should. And I'm hoping to change that soon, actually. I'm hoping to be a little bit more transparent. I think I just had a really rough year and I didn't want people prying into my business, and I've really always, I grew up in a rock and roll band and always had people in my business, like, wanting to know who I was hooking up with and what I'm doing and how I'm living, and it all became a lot, I've had a very interesting life. So I had to take time and find a way to get back on my feet again. And I think that the Leos that I'm talking to here have really had it rough here. Like, I'm sending you super mega love all the way, you know? Talk to me about the Ace of Swords. The Six of Pentacles. I do have to say on a brighter note, Leo, that there is some sort of communication that you may be receiving here in the month of March that's really going to blow your mind. It could be a financial opportunity. For those of you wanting a scholarship, this could be a great time for that. It looks like in the darkest moments, something really comes and perks you up and gets your spirits up again. So I would be on the lookout for that. That's going to be really exciting and motivating for you, especially during a retrograde period of like total freaking chaos, looks like. Uh-oh. Tell me about the Five of Cups. Oh. The Page of Swords in reverse. Okay, so, you know, there was a message coming through here that even though you're so saddened about something and you want to keep up with somebody, don't keep up with them, with what they're doing, with what they're doing out in the world. This is certainly a message that you may be saddened and like wanting to know more, but be careful, right? Just be careful. Don't be looking into somebody else's business right now. Look into your own business right now. Talk to me. Okay, we have the Karma card coming out on the Ten of Swords, and when I like think about these energies like really melting together here, I see just like a karmic separation. This is obviously the Judgment card. And you know, gosh, those just are just the shittiest moments, aren't they? And I really hate to have those conversations with you because they're like kind of bummer readings. But I really want to talk for a second before we close. Don't click off this video because we're closing, which means we're going to distill the points of the reading. So stay here. Let's start with the fact that the message for you here in March is to have a little freaking faith and to look at yourself with some loving eyes. Whatever it is that you need to do to get yourself back into a place where you're feeling strong again and ready to take on the world again. It can be so tough and so freaking challenging. And you know what, I think that's really the thing that connects us as human beings so much, is that we all know this moment when what we thought was going to be our greatest story turned into our saddest chapter. And I'm sending you so much love. As you heal and distill and figure it out, I'm certainly here for you. Y'all can shoot me an email anytime. I love y'all. You gotta hang in there when the going gets rough. And if the tarot community is good at anything, my dears, it is supporting one another. I think that we're really good at doing that. And I also feel like, also, don't forget the Wheel of Fortune always turns for us, guys. You know, we always end up on that part of the wheel where we're like, hell yes. And then we always end up on the part of the wheel where we're like, oh my God, you know, get me out. The important thing is that we express and grow and learn and love ourselves in any way that we can. Honey, get yourself a face mask. And you know, I'm talking to boys too, because y'all boys could take better care of your skin. Wash your face, use a moisturizer. Greg's advice. But for real, guys, I promise you that if you look in there deep enough in the parts that you've closed off in your heart because you've been hurt so badly, to find that little flicker and once again feel it become flame. You are going to be reminded of this greatest story. This 10 of Cups ain't on the board for no reason. It's here to show you that that's coming to you, Leo. But you got to have a little faith, and you got to quit trying to control everything, and you got to let the past be the past, and you got to live in the now, and you got to manifest this life, this experience. And you got to do that by knowing that you are so beautiful. And I love you, and I will see you for your other reading this month. Like, share, comment, and subscribe if you're new. And yeah, I'll see you soon. I love you. Hang in there. You got this shit. Bye.